We're coming at you with the heat over here, with a topic that I think is going to piss off a lot of Edmonton Oilers fans. At least based off of what I saw on your Reddit page, this is kind of a contentious thing, and I don't think it's going to go over too well. But either way, if you're a fan of any other team, this is an intriguing conversation that I think, if you've got the salary cap to burn, might actually be pretty piquant to you too. So, let's head over to Edmonton and talk about a guy who was one of the top point scorers in the entire 2023 playoffs for defensemen. And I'm just going to check this out right here. Search up by all positions. Nope, we're going to go to defenders in 2023. He was the top scoring defenseman in the entire postseason this year, with 17 points in 12 games played. He had as many assists as every other defender in the playoffs had points, and he did so in such a fewer amount of games played that he is by far the #1 point per game producer in the year's postseason. It is Evan Bouchard. Actually, no, he's not above and beyond the best point producer. Winnipeg Jets defenseman Neil Pionk had 7 points in 5 games, putting his point per game number just underneath Bouchard's, but either way, the point still remains. Today we're talking about the top point scorer amongst all defensemen in this year's playoffs, and going over the idea that is proposed in The Athletic in an article by Daniel Nugent-Bowman, asking whether or not this guy could receive an offer sheet. Now, the link is going to be in the description if you want to go ahead and read what I'm hearing about the Oilers 2.0, Bouchard offer sheet, Klim Kostin to the KHL. This article was published on June 15th, so 2 days ago, and if you have The Athletic, you can go ahead and read this. But before we dive into what it is that Nugent-Bowman writes about Bouchard, let's just go over the profile here first and foremost, because when it comes to this player, he's really, really good. And there's a reason why people are talking about the idea of an offer sheet, because if a team goes out there and just decides, hey, they want to do it, there really is no slowing down how much this guy could possibly get in a contract. Evan Bouchard is 23 years old, born in 1999, 6'3", 194 pounds, is a right-handed guy, signed till the end of 2023 on his ELC. So he's an RFA. Right now, he's actually eligible to sign an extension, but that has not happened yet. With the offer sheet process opening itself up to Bouchard later down the line, you could debate whether or not it's possible for a team to go out there and do that. The reason being that Bouchard had 40 points in 82 games this previous season and 43 points in 81 games the season before that. He has been a consistent offensive defenseman who has been a beast on the power play with his wicked shot and his great playmaking. This season, though, with the departure of Tyson Barrie and the arrival of Mattias Ekholm, you had Bouchard get placed up on that top unit power play where he absolutely went off. 17 points, 12 games played, and he did that all as a member of the Oilers' top unit. Yes, you could say he's playing with Draisaitl, he's playing with McDavid, so anybody's numbers would get inflated in that respect, but you gotta remember, Tyson Barrie was here just a few months ago, and he wasn't this good. While Evan Bouchard may not be as quick or as mobile as Tyson Barrie is, Bouchard's long stride, his ability to slow the game down, his vision, his shot, it's all elite, and it's really putting to shame all the analysis that I did back in 2018 saying that I had concerns with him and his skating. But either way, all Lego Rocks 99 retcon aside, we have ourselves a player who is a very legitimate top power play defenseman. You could say he's a top defenseman, but I feel like there's a little bit more maturing that needs to happen with his game in order for him to really ascend to that level. But at the same time, I mean, if the guy gets out there and they put him on the first power play for a whole season and he gets 60 to 70 points, who's to say he's not a top-line defenseman? Either way, though, this is the article on The Athletic from Daniel Nugent-Bowman. The article was posted onto the Oilers subreddit, and a lot of Oilers fans were pretty pissed off about it. There is a little excerpt here in the comment section transcribing the actual quote from Nugent-Bowman about Bouchard. We're going to go ahead and read that over here. The top comment on this post by HXH52 says this: "There is nothing substantial here that we didn't know before. He says that if a team wants to throw a massive bag at Bouchard in the form of an offer sheet, the Oilers cannot afford to match. We have known this. This is nothing new." You also had yourselves this article get posted onto the Buffalo Sabres Reddit page. For some reason, I feel like some fans on the Buffalo Sabres page might feel that this is an appropriate offer sheet target, but the excerpt of the entire thing is posted here. Bouchard in an offer sheet. Bouchard, a top 4 defenseman just tapping into his potential, is exactly the type of candidate rival teams should covet. A major reason for that is the Oilers' cap situation. I'm told it's very unlikely the Oilers will be able to match any substantial offer sheet Bouchard chooses to sign. They'd get a various array of draft picks depending on the salary thresholds, but those picks do little to help the Oilers now. And now is what matters since they're in their Stanley Cup window. Also, it's not like watching another team nab Bouchard gives them any extra cap room. And so, the OP of this Sabres post, Seal Dodger 47, says, it sounds like an $8.58 million AAV by 1 year deal should get it done. A late first, second, and a third would be a great price for a top pairing defenseman, plus it allows Mattias Samuelsson down to the second pair. Having Samuelsson as your 4th best defenseman would be amazing. The 2 main problems are getting him under a long-term deal without compromising your future, and making sure he's as good as his public numbers say he is. Personally, I wouldn't do it since I'd prefer to keep my powder dry in the case Elias Pettersson becomes available within the next 2 seasons. And okay, I'm gonna disregard an Elias Pettersson comment. In 1 year, out the other? Yep, I didn't see that at all. Hell no. But, all inadvertent Buffalo Sabres analysis aside, Evan Bouchard is a player whom if you really wanted to get, you probably could. You would just need to shell out some significant money to do so. The Oilers are in a pretty predicament with their salary cap situation right now that they can't really afford to get anybody lost out on an offer sheet or two. So if Evan Bouchard decides, hey, if a team is offering me $8+ million, I'm just gonna go there. Sorry, Edmonton, but like, sure, it's fun playing with McDavid and it's fun playing with Draisaitl, but if a team is gonna give me my payday, he's got the right to go out there and take it. It just depends as to whether or not he's actually going to be willing to sign that contract, because at the end of the day, you know, offer sheets are a two-way street. You can't just offer a player a contract and it's done. Nah, the player has to actually sign it after considering all options for himself. And so for Evan Bouchard, he kind of holds all the cards here. There's a justifiable reason any team would go out there and give him significant money. Even before he was playing in the top power play, getting half a point a game at 21 and 22 years old in the NHL is really good, especially for a right-handed D. Now that he is the number 1 power play guy, and he was over a point per game in the playoffs, there really is no slowing down what exactly it is the ceiling Bouchard has. Not in terms of his talent, but in terms of just the points. And at the end of the day, NHL defenders, whether you're right-handed or not, will get paid based off of points. It happens all the time. You could be the crappiest defenseman out there, but as long as you're getting 50-plus points every year, you'll get your payday. And for Evan Bouchard being so young and also being on the right side, there's reason to believe that if a team wanted to shell out a significantly high dollar amount to this guy, they would. And so, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your opinions about this Evan Bouchard offer sheet ordeal? A lot of Oilers fans I've seen on their own sub don't really think it's worth talking about because it's been an inevitability this entire time. Oh yeah, the Oilers and their salary cap problems. They're in a predicament if Evan Bouchard signs an offer sheet. That's nothing new. But we haven't made a video about it, which is why I wanted to go out there and talk about it here. If you're a fan of any other team in the NHL, what are your thoughts on this idea of your team offer sheeting Bouchard? Is it a worthwhile investment? Even if it is for just 1 year or whatever. If it's the Jesperi Kotkaniemi route, you overpay the guy for 1 year, you re-sign him long-term to an okay deal. What is your thought process behind that? Do you think about it? Do you not? What are your opinions about Bouchard as a player and his growth over the past few months, ever since the departure of Tyson Barrie? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this Juraj 99. And bye.